We'll find out in like a minute or so. But maybe. So I'll say, indeed, greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. It feels quiet today. I don't know what that's about. It feels quiet. I want to talk about being busy. That's maybe that's why I'm feeling it's a little bit quiet. I feel like today, for most of it, was a pretty busy day. Now these little baby doggers, they've been very calm this whole time. Ah, ah, ah. And now I've been pouring myself some water. And now both of their little ears perk up. Ooh, what's that? Is that water you're drinking? I like water. I drink water too. I don't even know if you can see them. Maybe a little bit. Maybe I'll show you. Ah, ah, ah. Now I have a dog smelling my nug of weeds. Well, being busy and feeling busy are two different things. Ooh, Colonel. Now you're already getting into today's subject matter, man. Already getting into it. What do you feel about that? Like tell me your experience of feeling busy versus being busy. Because the feeling busy, I'm gonna call it energy, is usually somehow this victimhood one, right? Oh, I'm so busy. Can't do this, can't do that. I'm too busy. And then the other one, the actually being busy one, is a feeling of, oh man, I wish I had more hours in my day so I can get even more things done. I could be even more busy, if you will. Today, we had a bunch of streams. We had technically 3 streams already this morning, and it's been so much fun. We danced a little bit, we meditated a little bit. It was a beautiful morning, and then afterwards, after having been busy for a bit, I went and I took a bath. I took a nice bath, added some coconut oil to the bath, had all of that stuff over my skin, my hair, and I don't do that stuff enough. It literally feels like it was months ago that I actually went on a proper self-care day, and we're worthy. We're worthy of that. But why did I have to be busy before I allow myself that stuff? Was it because I felt busy? Was it because I wanted to escape the busyness? You wanna see what I'm looking at? Look down, just so you can know. I have one there, and then I have one there. These little baba cheese, they're so freaking cute. They are also very hot, which is less than ideal. But I'm not gonna complain about having babies on my lap, around my lap. I'm gonna complain about my stand not being level. Hey, Talia is here with us. I saw your message. I haven't replied to it just yet, my friend. I love you. I'm happy to hear you're feeling, or you want to feel more like yourself again. Genuinely, like that sounds like like just good stuff. Just good stuff all around. Well, being busy is having a task. Feeling busy is being overwhelmed by the number of tasks. Being overwhelmed, one, and also feeling like you don't have a means of escaping, or you are kind of subject to that busyness, right? Like you're constantly thinking about, oh, I need to get this done, I need to get that done. If I'm gonna get this thing done, then this thing is gonna be delayed, and then this thing gets delayed because of that thing being delayed, and then and we trip ourselves out. We trip ourselves out, and then we end up doing or being so overwhelmed that we just do nothing. We just collapse, you know. And it's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate. And I find myself doing that. Like we were doing a lot of the dancing streams at the start of last year, and then throughout the year it slowed down, and then it eventually stopped because it's extremely tiring. It's so tiring dancing on stream. Like it murders you. But but I know that there is, a handful of individuals that appreciate that space, appreciate the energy, and that's why we're doing it. And I have to remind myself that it's not about being busy. It's not about getting that stream done. Puppy, Nia puppy. She knows what she's doing. Like I pulled her around, onto her back, and she's like, I didn't do anything. Drinks from my water glass, little Ruffy and you. She has her own bowl. Yes, they have two bowls technically, but my water is especially nice. Hey, Melfa, much love to all of you. Talia, again, it's so nice having you here, friend. I work in a call center with non-stop calls, but I always seem to be less busy than my coworkers. So I'm curious about that, Colonel. Is your coworkers pretending to be busy? Are they actively busy, like with their bodies, with the way they move, with the urgency that they are showing in their movement? Are they busy like that, or are they busy trying to do better than you in the same job that you're doing? I'm really curious, man, because that's also something I've noticed so many times is looking busy. You can look busy, and then you'll be working in some sort of environment, and you and your colleagues are kind of having a good time, having conversations and stuff, and then you hear that someone is coming, a manager or an employer, and then chips, look busy. Everybody needs to look busy. And it's that way when a boss comes in, even if you are doing your job, then you're supposed to look busy. So maybe we'll have our intention as busy, and on the other side be, just to add a little bit of whimsicalness to it. Busy bee. Buzz buzz. Buzz buzz buzz. Buzz 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 buzz. Hey Mel. Hey to you. Metal, thank you for joining us again, friend. How long has it been? I feel like it's been a while. Fire breathing Jenny is here again as well. Good morning. Back to work. Pointless busy work. But at least I get paid. You see? You see, so sometimes the busy can be pointless, and that's also something that we have to be very aware of. No, please. I see the wind wanting to blow my wind, blow my wind away, blow my weed away. Should be good. Should be good. I hope so at least. Wish my weed luck. I have a little bit more left, so no, I'm not gonna jinx myself. Busy work in order to get paid. So I'm guessing it's a lot of logging, a lot of computer work, data input, the stuff like that, Jenny. If you're willing to share, friend, I'm genuinely curious. I can't stand feeling busy. I get anxiety almost trying to figure out what to do first. Like that makes me instantly think of moving. I don't know if it's the same for you, Ninja, but when you have to move, or when you have to pack things, I genuinely feel that anxiety as well. You're like, oh, I have to get all of these things moved. I have to get this thing done. Oh, where do I put this thing? What do I take first? No, no, no. That anxiety I've also very much felt in my life. I feel with the current way that we've been doing things, it very much is an allowing, to do things. This stream that we're showing up in, I'm allowing myself that. I'm allowing myself the streams in the morning. I'm allowing myself the meditation streams, and I feel now more so than ever that I'm doing it for myself as well. And it makes me happy to do, to do it for myself as well. The meditations have been beautifully enlightening. The dancing has been tiring again. And these streams, I feel are for all of us, genuinely for all of us. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to be here with me today, genuinely. Wow, that's the first thing I saw. That grinder, pretty thing you got there. Look, how cool is this? It was a gift from Christian. He was like, of course, I have friends who I can gift a grinder to for Christmas, and they would be happy. And he says this is like it's a bad thing. Like, oh, of course. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. You do have friends that like the grinder for Christmas, and I'm going to use this grinder on this stream for who knows who long. So every single time I grind my weed up, Christian is helping me, you know, metaphysically helping me to grind my weed because he made the effort to actually get me this thing. So I'm very, very grateful. Thank you for noticing, Talia. Good morning, brother. Good morning to you, my dearest friend, the witchy man, and murder is here as well. Thank you for joining us, dude. How was your festive season been? It's been a while since I've seen you around. First thing I saw. Me too. I try to limit commitments. It's a balance, though. Yes, yes, Jenny, very much so. I've been thinking about it a lot. Running up to this new year as well, because that is something we do, right? We create these commitments for ourselves, and then a part of these commitments are usually time distribution. Okay, then I'm gonna do this, then I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna make so for me right now, I have an hour to an hour and a half in the mornings where I'm dance streaming. So I have that commitment. And then later around 2 to 3, just before I get ready for my streams, I have a meditation stream for 44 minutes and 44 seconds. At least that's how long I meditate for. And because I've now created these boundaries, these times during which I'm going to be busy, I am more likely to show up for that. But it also creates the double-edged sword of me being disappointed in myself, being unhappy with myself if I don't. And that's that commitment. You're making a commitment to be busy more than you're making a commitment to doing certain things. So instead of thinking of it as this, oh, I'm gonna be busy from 2 to 3 now every day meditating. I'm thinking of it from the perspective of I'm going to be practicing meditation for how many hours it takes me this year. Let's say 300 hours worth of meditation dedicated specifically towards meditation if I do it every single day this year. And it helps to meditate. It helps to have like a little bit of a structured time in which we do that. We allow ourselves that. I have another puppy that just joined me. But we should do it for ourselves. We should do it because we want to meditate. We should do it because we want to exercise. We should do it because we want to get something written. We want to draw more. We shouldn't we shouldn't do it as a chore. I feel as soon as we do it as a chore, then it becomes something less desirable, to the point where we start having anxious thoughts, anxiety around doing it again. It's a very fitting description. What did I miss? Oh, the busy thing. Yeah, you're completely right. Completely right, Talia. I tried to limit my commitments. You're going to continue the dancing streams for now? Yes, of course, Talia. I've been dancing. I've been dancing today. So let me give you a rundown of yesterday. Yesterday, I was thinking about this morning's dancing session, and I was having a little bit of a hard time going to sleep, and I was like, oh damn it! Now I'm gonna try and get up at like before 6 a.m. I'm going to be dancing. I'm gonna be tired and start making excuses already. And kind of like 5 a.m. comes, and I'm like, no, no. It also rained last night, so I knew the grass is gonna be wet. So I'm like, nah, 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 nah. So I sleep, I think, for an hour and a half longer. Then I get up, I get dressed, I make myself a coffee, I sit down, I roll myself a joint, I smoke said joint, and then I started dancing. And we danced, I think, 9:30 today, or at least we were dancing during 9:30, which is a time slot that we usually don't dance in. And as a result, we got to meet a bunch of new friends as well. So things turned out perfectly. It was wonderful. So yeah, and again, the time zone, the schedule that I set for myself, I was supposed to, in a certain time. But because I allowed myself the comfort of doing it when I felt comfortable with it, it was a genuinely enjoyable experience because it's one that I not necessarily one that I coaxed myself into slash expected myself to adhere to, because that's what happened last year, where I would be waking up so early in the morning, and then I was just devastated by the tiredness, and then I dance with the tiredness, and then I feel I'm underperforming because I'm tired, and then as I could, I guess, and then I stopped. Got enough sleep, and that way it's going to be more enjoyable for all of us involved. It might be harder for you friends to tune in, especially our American friends, but it's going to be a little bit later slash more AM hours. But hopefully we can touch some friends who are living what in Asia and maybe Europe. If they're tuning into Reddit like 9 a.m. Love, just we're trying to share love. Somewhere in the day, throughout the day, trying to share love. I saw they are so consumed by their job, they don't notice all the small free moments they have on the calls like I do. Hmm. Thank you for sharing that with me, friend. And thank you for being aware enough to see that as well. Not even to see it from the perspective of like, oh, shame, these poor people, but just to be aware of the fact that that's possible and that you don't want to be in that mindset. Ugh. Take the small moments. Take a second to breathe. Goodness, if you're working in a call center, just remember to breathe. For now, for now it's free. I say the best way to be left alone at work is to walk quickly with a clipboard in your hand. Yeah, like walk with direction. Like you have to be somewhere like in seconds. And if you dare talk to me, I'm going to miss my where to be with a few seconds. Hey, Naren is here with us, my brother Bear. I think I saw you for a second on the meditation stream, and then I didn't see you anymore. But now I see you here, and I was thinking about you meditating as well. Thank you for joining us. Obviously, but presence is infinitely more rewarding than being busy. Being busy usually has this energy of getting something done, attached to it. Where awareness is very much the authentic presence, and there's another word I'm looking for. Not contribution, not assistance, involvement. Yeah, being involved, with whatever it is you're doing, instead of trying to get it done. We're going to light this, friends. The busy bee joined. The busy bee. It's all gas, no brakes. So do excuse me if I forget how to talk. Mm. Lane, my main. Like as I was tuning into the stream today, going onto YouTube, I saw your ice video, and I watched the start of it. You talking about I don't know if I made any promises for 2021, and I was just like, yeah, fuck yeah, Lane, let's do it, let's get it. I love you, dude. I love you so much, man. To you friends who don't know, to you friends who are interested, Lane also has a YouTube channel. Do you also experience moving to be stressful? Because it's a form of leaving the comfort zone. Weirdly enough, Talia, I'm not too perturbed by moving. I'm more disgruntled by the amount of thing because I very authentically realize how much bullshit I have that I don't use actively. Just this stuff that is in my space. And now, since I'm moving out of my space, now I have to take this stuff with me. That part disgruntles me, but doesn't necessarily give me too much anxiety. Well, it makes stresses me out. I genuinely like going to different places, meeting different people, being in a different environment, sleeping in a different bed, because I feel it it causes some neuroplasticity. It's like, oh yeah, you think you're used to things being in a certain way? How about they're this way now? Busyness is the greatest distraction from living. Ooh, Naren, now you're speaking my language, dude. Like this is what I've been thinking about today. Like after being or getting, I don't think I was being busy. I was getting busy. Like my mindset was like, okay, this thing's done. What gets done next? And while I was stripping out the baths, I was like, okay, you know what? I need to escape this pattern that I'm trying to practice now and take a bath. Get some oil on my skin and my hair again, for the first time in a while. And it was very nice. My body is thanking me. I feel good. I just have to do my diet properly. Bread is so nice, yeah. Bread is really nice. I once worked for a newspaper company packing inserts into the newspaper. I would be doing six pockets while the rest of the team would have two to three, and the boss would say, I shouldn't be standing around. Yeah, you see, that's the whole thing I was talking about of the being busy or looking busy thing. Now, since your boss is looking, even though you're overperforming, you're doing more than you're supposed to. If you've done what you're supposed to and you stand around doing nothing, now you're not busy and your boss doesn't like that. Such nonsense. Hoping for a truly good new year. Murder, you will have a truly good new year, friend. Manifest it for yourself. How many times a day do you say, I love you? I wanted to say for a second more than most, but I don't know if that's true. So just a lot. I like saying I love you, especially to my family members. Murder, I love you. Jovan, I love you, my friend. Hello to you. Thank you for joining us. I've been thinking about you a lot. I hope you're doing well, my friend. I hope this new year has been treating you well. Hope New Year, hey there, Mel. Again, Lane, so nice to have you. Crypt Keeper is here as well. Thank you for joining us, my dude. How are you doing? I work for an insurance company. Most days, I have a really hard time finding anything meaningful in my work, trying to treat it like a puzzle I solve. Slight dopamine reward when I complete a task. Yeah. Weird. It's weird you're saying that as well, Jenny. My uncle and his wife also work for an insurance company, and they sell insurance. And a part of me has been wondering, do I want to do that? Since that I can do it mobily, since I have family that might be able to help me. What do you think, JD? Will I survive selling insurance? Mm. You're a strong, friend. Know that you're strong. Thank you for trying to make the best of it at least. From the US, Crypt Keeper. I'm from the south of Africa, dude. Thank you for joining us, man. Is that an ashtray on top of the grinder? It is. That's a big brain level innovation. It's an ashtray, and to make it an ashtray, the entire like grinder bit is convexed. It has like teeth that run like that. So yee. Ashtray, joint holder. If I pack my joint, I also drop it onto that little middle part, so all of the bits that fall into the little ashtray holder, so I can add it back so nothing gets lost. I love that grinder, and I love the person who gave it to me. Absolutely. Mm, you are too nice and honest for selling insurance. Unfortunately, murder. That's the thing I'm thinking about as well. I'm just imagining myself manipulating this person into buying insurance and being like, but what if you die, dude? What if you die? Don't you love your family, man? Oh, don't you love your family? You might die, bro. And my whole want to share is to be like, but what if you live? What if you don't die? So I think I would have a hard time, a really hard time. How it goes. Does it make you mad when you have to stop being present to pay attention to busy things? Excuse me. I mean, it makes me mad when I stop paying attention to people. If I get busy and because of my busy bee mindset, I don't allow myself to talk to people properly. I don't allow myself to be completely present. Or when I'm talking to someone, there is this need to go somewhere else, come on, finish the thing you want to say, and that I feel is more destructive than anything when it comes to that busy feeling. Good morning to you, Toasty, my brother Bear. It's so nice to have you here. Genuinely, thank you, man. Things are better for me. What about you? Things are good. Talia, I think things are better now for me mentally than they've been in the last year. Like unironically, genuinely better than they've been in the last year. Just because of the information I've received as of late. That the understanding I have of the journey we're taking and the genuine acceptance of patience. You know, I like to pretend that I'm patient, and I say that kind of coyly. I like to pretend that I'm patient, but now especially I feel I have seen the scale of what my patience should be. Like where I was like, oh yeah, I can be patient for a year. Yeah, I can be patient for a whole year, and the universe was like, but what if you have to be patient for infinity? And shows that to me, and I'm like, oh, hey, oh goodness, please no. So yes, I'm calm. I'm calm, Talia. I'm happy. I'm more fulfilled than I've been in a long time, and I'm not judging myself. I'm actually not judging myself, and it helps a lot. How about you, Talia? You know, are things better for you from the perspective of how much you're allowing yourself to be yourself? Are they better with the stories you're telling yourself? Are you doing more of the things that you consider yourself? You know, how has it been for you? It does, my friend. The last time I felt that I quit my day job towards creative pursuits, I'm trying. Naren, keep trying, my friend. Because if we don't try for ourselves, nobody else is going to. You know, nobody can exercise for us. Nobody can eat good food for us. Nobody can look at things for us. We have to. You know, we have to show up for these things. And I appreciate you, Naren, for showing up. Every single one of you friends for showing up. Breeding to you. Melita, thank you for joining us. How are you doing, my friend? Hey, Toasty, hope you're doing all right. You're more present than them, maybe? Maybe. Ah, ready to melt. My first working day of the year away. I like that. The first working day of the year for Melita. Some of you friends don't even know. Melita is Mrs. Math. She does math, you know, and it blows my mind. It literally it blows my mind because I'm atrocious at mathematics. At least I think I am. I you know, okay, so let me backtrack a little bit. During high school, learning mathematics, I in the moment instantly was like, "Oh yes, this is simple." And then after having had that moment, I believed that. Oh, this is simple. And then I didn't study for it at all. And I still passed. I still passed, but I never actually studied properly for mathematics. And then meeting Melita, who has so many synchronicities, so many similarities to me, to the way I see the world, the way we see the world, and yet having this completely different understanding, completely different interpretation of the world when it comes to that side of it, you know, mathematics, and it's amazing to see her, you know, just go get excited about things. Could be better. 2022 started pretty rough. We're settling in though. Share with me, Lane. What has been rough about it, dude? We're here with you to listen. Me too. I struggle so much. Then I feel when I am not working, I am obliterated, obligated to be creative. Be creative because you want to be. Fire breathing Jenny, make something for yourself. You know, make a work of art for you. Think to yourself, what do I want to see? What would I appreciate in a work of art? And make that. Because we find ourselves in a world where making art has this monetary expectation onto it as well. And it makes it very difficult for us to be our own creators, our own creatives, because we're constantly being influenced by the outside world telling us we're doing something right. You know, if we find a niche of art that we create, you know, whatever it may be, and we have a whole group of people being like, yeah, fuck yeah, that's sick, you know, and we make money and we get views or whatever, we get recognition for what we've been doing, even though it's still your work of art. It got all of that recognition, all of that views, all of that money. Now, in your mind, there is this ingrained feeling of this is something that works. I need to do more of this. And if we get too deep into that system, we lose our passion for creating because then we're not creating for ourselves anymore. You'll get there, Lane. Things will be fine. I hope you'll feed in the balance soon. Sorry about the grinding noises. You know, like I asked my dad, "Are you going to make noise?" You know, like he was watching extremely loud movie trailers on a cell phone on the couch just here, and it was so loud that I couldn't, properly focus as I was sitting here. So I like asked him, "Hey, Dad, is there somebody in the room right now?" I asked him first, and he's like, "No." I'm like, "Okay, would you be willing to watch the trailers in the room?" And he's like, "No, I'm going to go down to the bottom farm and something about the cows." I'm like, "Okay, thank you." Thank you. I'm curious as to what he's grinding right now. Me too. I struggle so much. Get ready. Doing a 30-day January yoga every day, dailies are so important and give so much more to you than what you invest into it. It makes you feel powerful. It does make you feel powerful, Melina. Just showing up, for something consecutively, you can see the progress that's being made even more so if you watch yourself every single day. Lane, Rena, ready. Hope you all have a terrific new year. Feeling the upswing, friends. Feel the upswing. I genuinely, unironically, Toasty, I've been feeling an upswing. Like that New Year's experience, we had. I, like, at one point, I'm sitting in the movie room. I'm tripping extremely hard. I'm like peaking on 4.44 grams of mushrooms. And I told my parents this. And I look at them and I tell them, "Are you feeling the energy?" Ironically. I asked them, "Do you feel the energy?" And they look at me like, "No." What are you talking about? I'm like, I can legitimately feel the celebratory energy going on in the world right now. I can feel the excitement, the celebration, the want to live, the want to continue. I can feel it. And they're like, "Oh, okay." All right. And then for the rest of the night I was just like actively busy. I was so in that energy that I couldn't stop moving, and it was amazing. This world, this year, this life is only going to get better, friends. I genuinely believe that. Yeah, definitely, Manrola. Also a big fan of doing yoga here. I've also been doing yoga myself. It's been very beneficial. Balance, that's the word I was looking for. Thanks for giving me the word to meditate on today. Find balance, Brother Lane. You got this, man. There's a fly that has been making some random cameos every now and then. To you friends who are wondering what's that demon looking thing that's popping in and out of stream, it's a fly. Everything is still so blissful for me here. Everyone, take a ray of my energy. Sucks into me. Like I just imagined an actual like beam of energy just like hitting me in the chest and then sticking out of me and then slowly being absorbed into me. Thank you, Melita. I appreciate your energy. The fly sounds like it's in my head. Okay, so you're hearing it. You are hearing it, Toasty. I'm sorry. I don't want to kill it. I kind of want to kill it, but I don't want to kill it. Mm, too honest. I'll never do shrooms again. Got amnesia. Really? Michael Campbell, I'm so sorry to hear that. You got an amnesia from mushrooms? Hmm. Is it like persistent? Did you have amnesia during the experience, or are you having amnesia now actively? Like, I'm genuinely curious. I'm sorry to hear that, friend. The flies are like to my head, trippy, right? I can't kill him. I'm gonna try to kill you, dude. Like, yep, dude, you can't say yep to that question, bro. I asked two sides of the coin, Are you still experiencing amnesia? Or did you experience amnesia during your trip and now you're scared of it because you experienced that? Or are you actively amnesiated? I don't know if that's a word, but Just during, okay, then it's even better, Michael. Goodness, just during the experience, he says. Then it's fine. Then it's fine. You can't expect your brain to remember that much information, dude. It's just your brain at this moment is not processing that much information. It's not that bioavailable slash bio activated right now, because when you're eating mushrooms, you're just putting more information into your brain. You already have serotonin, which is the very closely related molecule to the psilocybin molecule as well. So you're just experiencing more information. Not remembering all of it doesn't mean you had amnesia. It just means that your brain is not capable of remembering all that information. Worst experience ever. Sometimes it has to be, Michael, that you learn anything from it, other than that you don't like mushrooms, so you don't want to do mushrooms again. Also, how much did you do? If you'd be willing to share, I'm really curious. Awareness is bliss. Maybe it's a busy bee. Trippy, right? Yes. Let's imagine it's a busy bee. Let's do this like just straight up sitting on my finger. Awareness is bliss. To me, it's the ultimate shape of feeling alive. Might be different for you though. No, I feel the same. Like for me, that awareness, that blissful awareness, all of my senses melt into the same unified sense of awareness in that case. Not to do them again. Yeah, you see, I thought of as much at least. I would like to believe, you gained more than just that from it, but I respect your experience nonetheless, friend. Melt, I'm glad to hear your thoughts on visiting different places. Your mindset on leaving the comfort zone is what I'm fighting for currently. Hmm. What about it is difficult to you, Talia? Do you feel the adjustment is the difficult part? Do you feel you're moving out of the comfort zone is the difficult part? Do you feel the way you have to now live, the way you have to move, your understanding of comfort in your environment has changed? I'm here with you, friend. Thank you for sharing with us. We love you so much, Talia. I have been testing solutions for feeling too busy and overwhelmed the last few years. It seems too simple, but sobriety restores balance better than anything. I agree completely with that, Ryan. And I had that experience as well in October, where because we were not drinking any caffeine, drinking no alcohol, smoking no weed, and even not eating food for the first 2 weeks, there was a sense of clarity. Ooh, Fly just went and sat directly on the camera. Dude, you're rude, my O. You're being so rude, Fly. You're being so rude. I kind of want to murder him. I'll let it slip. I'll forgive you, Fly. For now, I'll forgive you. Oh, and thank you for joining us, Ryan. It's so nice to have you here, man. How have you been? There's a few cows in the yard. Don't kill the fly. Nah, the fly's gonna be good, dude. Fly's chilling. I'm gonna leave the fly alone. Maybe get him stoned a little bit. Eighth Waffle Maker is here with us. Happy Monday to you, brother bear. Thank you for joining us, man. No worries. Walk fast, look worried. Boom! You're insta busy. Walk fast and always, look at one point in your field of vision and move towards that point. Hello, puppy. Hello. Hello, puppy pups. Hello. Hello, puppy. Puppy is now behind the window, obviously. Doesn't know how to get back to me, as it be. So we're gonna go and let her escape. Need your help. Huh? Need your help. It's a poop. Poop. One sec. It is redonkulously hot. I am like actually completely soaking wet with sweat right now. You're like, that's too much information, Mel. I'm sorry. I am sorry. But if I'm gonna suffer in this body, at least you have to know a little bit of my suffering. These little dogs just took my seat, so I'm gonna have to sit weirdly a little bit. Looking busy is also a good way to prevent people from talking to you, Law. That or putting in earphones helps for that as well. Um, I think that's like it for me at least. Beautiful background. Thank you, friend. I'm happy to share it with you. I could just be alone, experience, enjoy it alone. But I'm so happy to be sharing it with you, friend. What is the temperature? It's like 33 degrees Celsius probably right now. Maybe a little bit hotter than that. Maybe 34. You would be really good at selling anything. If you need money, there is money there, but it's not really rewarding work. At least not for me. Fire breathing Jenny, that's a thing as well. I have again completely let go of this want for money. I'm so comfortable living the middle way, living below my means, not eating excessively, not trying to experience things excessively, being a little bit more contented, and it's genuinely helping. Heather is here with us. Yeah, thank you for joining us, my friend. How are you doing? Your weather, your weather looks amazing. I'm guessing you're saying it is. It's so freaking hot. Like I'm spreading myself out a little bit, so my arms aren't always touching the side of my body just to cool down a little bit. But it's amazing. You can be honest in insurance, and it would be comforting to buy insurance from you because you would remind me I will probably never need it. You see, but then I'm being a bad insurance salesman, aren't I, Fire Breathing Jenny? Because you're gonna be like, then why do I need insurance, my but I know what you're saying. Thank you, friend, for your encouragement. 33, 34 degrees Celsius, I wish. Instead, snow is on the ground here. Murder, we always wanted the other way, unfortunately, Oh, it's so hot. I wish it was cold. Oh, it's so cold. I wish it was hot. Oh, it's the perfect temperature. I'm going to add a blanket onto myself to get hot, and then I'm also going to add a fan to cool me down again so that I can be even more comfortable in this perfect temperature. It's all nonsense, dude. Finally, finally, Dame is joining us again. Says, hi, Melty Melt, I've missed you. And apparently the season changed. It's beautiful behind you. Yeah, it's all green. I can't stay, but it's warming my heart to hear your voice. Have a wonderful evening slash day. Thank you so much, Dame. I appreciate you. I know you're probably gone by now, but I'm sending you love. My big issue is the comfort zone. I'm always hiding to avoid to grow because that would mean I have to face my unhealed wounds. I'm now fighting to comfort and question everything and grow into my true self. That is my journey. And we support you. We stand with you, we walk with you during this journey. Talia, thank you for sharing it with us, for allowing us an insight into your life. It means the world, genuinely. Never gotten the state of Mrs. Math. Thank you. You're the first one. It's your superhero persona now. You know, I see infinity symbols as well because Math likes its infinities, and I know you like your infinities as well. So Mrs. Math it is. Hey there, how are you? Thank you for the silver imaginary structure. I appreciate that. Start slow, stretch slowly, like learning a new yoga pose. Absolutely. Mathematics is in everything. That's what makes it so beautiful. Like you walking, me bringing this joint up to my face. Math, technically. I know a lot of it. Like a lot of math. I have to go. Have an amazing day to all. Stay blessed. Murder. Stay blessed, friend. Thank you for joining us. We love and appreciate you. Frankie Marie is joining us again. Thank you for joining us, friend. Love you. I'm pretty okay. I'm running late, but oh well. I'm off now. Ciao. Love you so much, Dave. Thank you, friend. My priorities are way better sorted after a yoga session. Hmm. So I understand what you're saying, Ryan, but I would love if you would elaborate. Hmm. Did I kill you? Oh no, he's already dead. He's so so crispy. Like when I lifted my hand up, there was an ant body, and then I like touched him a little bit, and it was crispy. So Wasn't me that killed him. Yeah, but like, please do tell Ryan, like, how do you feel your priorities are changed? Like, are your priorities so like what I'm thinking about is like food and stuff, you know, how you eat, how you feed yourself becomes a little bit more, I want to say the word enlightened, but I don't really like that word that much. But it enlightens you to the fact that, you know, mind, body, and the connection that there is. So the food that you're going to eat is going to influence that as well. Oh, sneeze coming on. The mind gets the rest it so very much needs. Genuinely, like yoga, you're so busy with your body and trying to focus on keeping the pose and just breathing through it that your mind actually gets to relax a little bit. Another thought about the comfort zone, there's no point in limiting ourselves once we realize we are all infinite. Yeah. That's the perspective I've taken. Genuinely, Talia, that exactly. I'm happy that you know it as well. I had the opposite of that energy on my New Year's melt. A lot of things went wrong, and I ended up alone playing Valorant until 4 a.m. I don't think that's a bad thing, Lane. You know, a lot of people were on the internet for New Year's this year. I don't know if it's more than last year, but a lot of people were. My brother, you know, he's I think your age. He's your age. He's turning 19 next year. He was also just playing games, you know, and we were watching movies together. Like that was my parents' way of celebrating New Year's, and you know, I was stripping and dancing, but it's difficult to get my parents involved in that. So I knew I was going to have to, I want to say, humble myself, calm down, and just watch a movie with them. And we started watching this movie, and Vessel wasn't the room with us. My brother wasn't the room with us, and he was like, "Nah, movie looks like it's 20 frames per second. It was probably like 24 frames per second, and it's an animated movie, Blender render. I'm pretty sure, but it still looks really good. But it doesn't have the frames, you know. And he has now a 120 hertz gaming laptop that he's been using for like schoolwork and stuff. So he's been playing games, and his response to seeing this movie is like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna watch that. It has like 24 FPS." And I'm like, "Yeah, I understand you want frames. You know, frames are nice, but it's not about the frames. It's not about the movie. It's about being in the same space. You know, spending some time together." So, no, Lane, know that even if you had the opportunity to, sometimes people still choose not to. So I'm happy that you got to, having no opportunity to choose otherwise. You get what I'm saying? We love you, Lane. Here we are, dude. Another year of showing up for one another. Know that you're appreciated and cared for. That story is amazing. You're so extra. I love you. I do really, really do feel special, socially upswing. I hope it's not just wishful thinking. No, totally, genuinely, from what I've been feeling, from what I've been seeing, from what we've been doing, I'm sure. Like, I have no doubt in my heart. Sounds like most of my previous New Year. It's sometimes better to end up alone, though. You know, I genuinely believe that as well. Sometimes, you know, the energy of the people around us can be a little bit jarring. Usually I'm alone, but this time I was just worse. Like everything just happened, or rather that it didn't happen, has been affecting me ever since. Usually I'm alone, but this time it was just worse. Like everything that happened, or rather didn't happen, has been affecting me ever since. Trip report, please. You want to hear a trip report about the 4.44 gram mushroom trip? So, okay. It's kind of I don't know if it's a good story, but it is a story. Man, these dudes are like taking my seating. Oh, I know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He's like, making sounds. Me picking him up. So, we streamed. We had our like last of the year stream here, and it was like a 2 hour stream. And I was during it thinking to myself, after the stream, I'm going to go and blend up some mushrooms, peel some lemons, squeeze some juice, and get this process going. So I put away my things, my streaming stuff, and I blitz these mushrooms together and I gulp it down. And as soon as I gulp it down, I usually set this like stopwatch on my phone to know when exactly I took it and how long I've been in the experience, because time becomes a little bit weird. And I drink this goo, and I look for my phone, and it's gone. It's like it's gone. It's actually gone. I cannot find it. And I look for it, and I look for it, and I end up looking for it for like 30 minutes. So my entire come up is spent looking for this cell phone. And the more I look for it, the more comical it becomes. Where I have this part of myself that's like telling me, you don't need your phone, leave your phone. And this part of me is like, but where can my phone be? It has to be somewhere. And then my other part is like, leave your phone alone, dude. There's a reason you can't find it. There's a reason you cannot find it. So I basically listen, eventually. I listen to this. There's a reason you cannot find it. You've hidden your phone from yourself on the last day of the year because you need to get away from it for a bit. So I accept that reality. I go to my room and the mushrooms really start working, if you will. And I'm like, I have my eyes closed, I'm laying in bed, I have a fan running, I'm like cozy under a blanket, and obviously my internal world starts to open up. Stuff is happening, beautiful geometries, beautiful fractals. And as I'm in this space, there is this feminine voice that starts talking to me. But it talks to me in a way where I know it's feminine and I know it's talking to me, but it isn't using words. But I keep replying to it in words. So I'm receiving this information, and then I try and narrate. I try and explain my position. I try and figure it out, if you will. And then it kind of like laughs at me, and then it goes through this whole conversation with me again. And I was asking or talking to this energy, let's call it, and I was talking about it with the intention of this journey that we're a part of now. And I shared my hopes for it. I shared, what I want to do. I shared what I I think is possible. And a part of this possibility is, traveling the world, being able to take you friends with me, showing you places that we've never been, genuinely being able to look into different parts of the world and appreciate it as such. And alongside with it, I see this imagination of having a family, having kids, having a beautiful house to live in, having an estate on which we live where my kids can be free. And it's very excessive. It's like I want more and more and more and more and more and more. And I'm telling this feminine energy, what I thought of as Mother Gaia. I'm telling her about this, and she's just like sitting there listening to me, and she's like, huh, that's neat. And then she showed me my entire life in almost like a, it's like I was captured in this moment, and this moment went on infinitely, where I was showed that even if nothing changes, if there is no such thing as my future, and I keep doing what I'm doing right now, and I keep streaming in the way that I'm streaming right now, keep showing up in the way that I'm showing up right now, I would be able to do it indefinitely. No monetary gain, no wife, sorry about the fly, no wife, no kids, no fancy cars, no fancy stuff. I don't need any of it. And then it like kept showing me that over and over and over again. It's like, you don't need this. You don't need that. You don't need to do these things. You don't need to feel this way. You don't need anything. And it was like over and over and over and over again. And it was almost, I want to say uncomfortable. Is it uncomfortable? It felt like I was experiencing more information than ever. And the information is, you don't need to experience this information. So I was like, "Ah, what am I supposed to do with this?" And then I have this, you can call it an epiphany, a realization that right now is New Year's. Right now, there are millions, billions of people spending time with one another in celebration of the new year. And I instantly realize that's what I should be doing. You know, I shouldn't be tripping out in my room alone, talking to myself, if you will. I should be spending time with my family. And I told them, you know, before like my dad literally watched me drink all of the mushrooms. Like, I show him the little cup of mushrooms that I'm eating, and it's literally like a cup full of them. And I tell him, oh, I'm gonna take a bit of mushrooms today. He looks at the cup, he looks at me, a bit, he says, a bit. You're gonna take a bit of mushrooms, yeah? Yeah, maybe it's a little bit more than a bit of mushrooms. So I'm like, I just as I start peaking, basically, like 1 hour, 1.5 hours, 2 hours, I was like in my room for, and then as I start peaking, I come out of my room and I walk into, you know, the TV room, and my mom and my dad are watching this movie, and it's an Afrikaans movie called It's a Lot Actually on Netflix. And I see the Netflix bar at the bottom, and I'm like, oh, I guess it's a Netflix movie. And then I hear these people speak Afrikaans, which is my native language. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Something is so wrong, you know. Am I translating what they're saying into Afrikaans in my brain right now, or am I tripping that hard, or is this actually Afrikaans? And I sit and I don't say a lot, you know, and I'm just trying to watch this movie with them. And it's weird. Like the main character is a furry artist, and he meets this woman who is a vlogger, and then they fall in love, and they become an item, and then she wants to introduce him to her parents. And then he drives this old car, and she tells him, "Oh, my dad likes these old cars." And he gets there, and he brings like kind of cheap wine to his parents. He gives them the wine. He gives the dude a handshake. He has like a firm handshake, like kind of like a disgruntled handshake. And he's like, "Oh, I heard, you like old cars." And it's like, "Oh yeah, they're fine," kind of vibe. And then this other dude shows up with a brand new Mercedes, and then he's like, "Now that's a car." And this dude gets out of the car, and it's this woman's ex boyfriend. And then there is this whole ruckus of they try and make it clear to him that he is this low class person, and this other dude is this high class person because he earns so much money. And then this high class person, steals from the family and then frames the other guy for it. And I'm like tripping the fuck out watching this movie. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And at one point, I like look over to my parents and I tell them, "This is the weirdest movie I've ever seen in my life." And without missing a beat, they're like, "Yeah, yeah, for us as well." And I'm like, "Okay, good. It's not just me tripping the fuck out, on mushrooms." So it was this weird, just extremely weird experience watching this movie with my parents. And the movie ends, and it ends after nothing has happened. Like literally nothing happens in the entire movie. There's like there's a chopper flying over us right now. And the movie finishes up, and my dad is like, "Well, we're never watching something from that dude again. That movie was horrible." And I respond, "Actually, I think it was a good movie." And my dad is like, "Nah, those mushrooms are working," or something like that, he says to me. And then we started watching the second movie called Team Seas. No? Team Seal. And it's also a movie made by South African artists. And it's basically this insight into the life of a seal. And he has this friend, and they basically try to survive in the ocean. They try and catch fish. They live their lives. And as soon as we start watching this movie, I look at these seals. I look at my mom and I tell them, they're little beings, you know, just like us. They just happen to live in the ocean. And I'm like invested in this movie. Like I'm feeling it, I'm tripping the fuck out. I see this life, I see this beauty of the ocean again, and I'm like, yeah, 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 I'm here for it. And then this movie kind of runs through this idea, this feeling of this Quinn character, the main character, who keeps having these ideas. And these ideas keep getting people killed, and me tripping out extremely hard. Technically, it wasn't exactly the message of the movie, but the message I got from the movie is I keep having this idea and people keep dying for it. And I was asking myself, what is that idea? You know, what idea do people keep dying for? And then, like, again, like this came to me, life. Life is the idea that things keep dying for. And it's paradoxical. It was almost funny to me in that moment. And I was just like, huh, neat. We have to have life in order for things to die. Things can't die if there's no life, you know? And in that moment, I realized just how we're choosing to be alive. We are actively choosing to be alive. If we didn't want to be alive anymore, we would stop breathing, stop eating food, stop drinking water. And here we are, choosing life. Choosing life again. Choosing life some more. We choose life, you know, and that was this resounding realization to me in the middle of the trip as well. After my parents went to sleep, I did a dancing stream. We danced for a little bit, melting infinitely into a new year. We sat down, we had some conversations. I tried to share some of the stuff I was feeling. It was beautiful. Talia, trip report done. I hope it wasn't too long winded. I resonate with that as well. Expectations can creep in at the worst moment. They really do, Melita. They do, and they create this versus that scenario within ourselves where we want to be that, but now we're this. Do you feel overall, bro? How do you feel overall, bro? I'm curious as well, Lane. Bad, bro. Dude, Lane, don't say that. Now I want to call you instantaneously, man. I feel low, but it's fine. I'll bounce up soon. We're here with you, dude. We are here with you, Lane. Like, you can share whatever you need to, man. If you don't want to share here, please do share with us directly. Fly forgiveness. Important. This is important, Heather. I have to be calm, you know, zen myself out enough to not care about flies as well. You are loved, so loved. So, so loved. Optimism is hard. If you want to chat, my DMs are open. All of us are open, dude. Did you paint the background yourself? I did. In fact, it's insane. You know, okay, so this one is going to sound a little bit pretentious, but it's also a thought slash feeling I had in the middle of this trip. And I feel since we are still kind of sharing about the trip, I want to share this as well. At one point, there was this feeling, and I'm not going to say it's me, but there was this energy within inside of me that was saying this. And it was like, I'm already making everything the way that it is. You know, all life, all planets, all trees, all grains of sand. What more do you want? You know, it was like that in myself. And I like said it out loud. I was like, I'm already doing all of it. What more do you want? And I was like, oh shit. Okay, okay, fine. You know, you make a point. You valid point. Thank you for joining us, Insane. It's so nice to have you here, man. There has been so many comments in the meantime, but the difficult aspect commitments in the those comments in the meantime, leaving the comfort zone to me is that it makes me feel vulnerable because I don't know how to be myself in a new situation. I'm confronted with not knowing who I am. So Talia, for what it's worth, I feel the exact same way sometimes. You know, when I'm going to be in someone else's apartment who I don't know, I also feel a little bit awkward. I feel like, oh, can I be myself? You know, and it's not even not knowing who you are. It's this feeling of not being able to be who you are because of this new person, because of this new situation. Know that it's okay. Talia, know that you're doing so fine, friend. We're still young. We're still figuring it out. No such thing as too much information. Information is just information. Fire breathing Jenny, you are right. You are right, but there is the possibility of having skewed information. So let's imagine for a second a human being is very simplified and can receive information directly as a zero or a one bit. And within this person, you represent the zero as a bad, bit of information, a negative bit of information, and a one is a good bit of information. If you give that person 9 bits or 9 zeros and 1 1, it's going to be 9 instances of bad information for 1 instance of good information. So technically, you're receiving a lot of information, and within that information is good information. And the more information you receive, the more of that ratio you're going to receive as well. It's still going to be this 10% of good information left. I think it's more important for us to realize how to utilize our positive information more than it is to be just overwhelmed by the information. I think you might resonate with that as well, Fire Breathing Jenny. I bet he did. There we go. Lane knows. You can't tell yourself who you are because by doing that, you're not being yourself. The truth is, you're always yourself. You're just trying to fight against your nature with trying to be the way you imagine will get you better results. There we go. Sensei knows as well. Like I'm so happy that we said the same thing in two different ways. Fuck, I'm 20. There you go, Dalia, you're 20. Like I'm so happy that you mentioned the fact that you're young as well, and we're still figuring it out. I haven't figured out who I am. That's why psychedelics help me so much. I get into new situations in my mind, and I find out how or who I feel comfortable being, and how I can serve the universe best. I'm so happy that you pursue psychedelics with that mindset in heart as well, because you can take psychedelics to see pretty things, to notice the pretty things, to get fucked up, if you will. You can very much use psychedelics for that, but it's not exclusive to that use case. I just killed a little tick, and I saw a flea. Freaking little dudes. Parasite machines. If I'm in my 30s and I'm still figuring it out. Thank you, Ninja. This dude has kids and he's still figuring it out. We're fine. We're doing so fine, Talia. 42 here, still working on that. As far as I can tell, you decide what you are, then do your best to be it. I like that, Fire and Jenny. Just be what you are. Just be what you are. You already are it. I don't feel that way. I feel like a stranger in my own head. I feel like I'm not expressing my true self because I'm always hiding in a corner. What I found, Talia, is that there's certain people that accept us to the point where we feel we don't have to hide in that corner. And it's not so much us, it is us, but it's not as much us as it is sometimes the environments we find ourselves in. And it's a learning process. Don't be too hard on yourself. You'll learn. Couldn't have said it better myself. There we go. What would it look like if you weren't hiding in a corner? It's insane asking the good questions. And how are you proposing on that? How cold is it today for you? I'm curious. Insane? Is it snowy there, dude? That's what I'm working on currently. I've already gotten a taste of what it feels like, fulfilling, complete, and like belonging slash home amongst many other beings, feelings. Talia, we deserve that feeling. I believe that feeling is something that we have access to within close friends. But there has to be a certain level of trust and want to do that as well. Elaborating priorities changes with yoga. Wake up, long busy to-do list. After yoga, just want to hug my kids. There we go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm so happy, Ryan. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that with me. Changes from time to time. Certain things will become more concrete. Others will fade away when you realize they don't comics with the ones that stay. They don't commit. They don't mix. Comics. Maybe I'm missing something, Ninja. Thank you, friend, though. Hey, it's freaking management. Annie Lisa's here. Good afternoon, Estian. Friends, Toasty Lane, Rena, Simon. Thank you for joining us, my friend. How have you been? How's the festive seasons been? How's the new year been treating you? Freaking fly. Why, dude? I think he knows. I think some part of him knows what he's doing. He's like, what are you gonna do, bitch? Huh? To give me some more, huh? Bitch. What are you gonna do? That's only 1 Fahrenheit for y'all Americans. Minus 17 degrees Celsius. It's insane. The coldest I've ever experienced was minus 5. and I was taking pictures, dude. I was like taking pictures of the car's temperature sensor, I guess, or meter. I was like, bro, -5 degrees Celsius. Are you kidding me? That's below freezing. And then you're just like in -17 degrees Celsius temperatures. Jeez, I think Heather is also -10. Yeah, yeah, also so freaking cold. I would just, turn into an icicle. Yeah, but I'm asking not the results. What does it look like not hiding in a corner? I think it's just an open expression of yourself, without like being silly. Just being silly, for example. I can be very silly. I can be silly to the point where people think there's something wrong with me. Maybe there's something wrong with me, but I only allow myself to be that silly with certain people. With people that I feel I can be that silly with. And then sometimes I pretend to be very cool. Oh yes. I know silly. I just cool. Nonsense. I feel that glad to hear you have that precise idea. That seems very helpful. It helps. It does help, but it's not the be all end all. I thought it would be colder for you. No, not so cold here. Sky, clear sky, really nice. At least the sun is then, yeah, coming through a little bit. Sun pops through here, thank goodness. To me, it's not being afraid of failure, being different to find the other personal truth and right people to share this truth. Beauty and love of expressing the own mind and headspace. That's very short conclusion, I guess. It's a perfect one, Talia. Like I feel I was trying to say the same thing. It's just being able to be ourselves, being able to be goofy and do that with a certainty that instead of this person looking at us like, what the fuck is wrong with you? They're gonna be like, this, this is what I like, like, and technically, both of those reactions are possible. Both of them are divine because they're reactions. But depending on the reaction we get, if we get a divine one or an animalistic one, we should allow ourselves to stay or not to. What do you have to do to not be afraid of failure? Probably failing and finding out it's all right to do so. What would you do? Like, Talia, you're so aware, friend. You are so aware. Like your body might be 20, but you're doing really well. Maybe it's a little bit more than a bit. I'm not sure. It's a little bit. Looks like Reddit is being finicky. Guess I'll disappear for a hot minute to get some yen in. Ninja, if you're back by now, it's been 40 minutes. Thank you again. I hope that it gets a little bit better. Yeah, it's freezing every 15 seconds here. Reddit, like the YouTube should be pretty good. You see, we have one friend tuning in. Is the YouTube good, friend? Lol, did you say furry artist? That's exactly what I said, Toasty. That's exactly what I said, dude. And after the main character's girlfriend straight up dies, like there's a scene where she's in the hospital after having been shot by her ex-boyfriend accidentally. It's that one of those contrived ones. He's holding her hand and he's like crying and he's like being poetic and he's telling her how much he loves her and he tells her that he wants her to be here with him so that he can kiss her, take her breath away to the point that she feels like she might die or something like that, in that context. And then, her heart straight up stops and she freaking dies. She just straight up dies. And then the next scene after she dies is like him looking at his computer and it's these two furry characters, something like Bunny and Beanie, and then in like quote in little, what do you call them, captions, no, whatever, bare feet edition. And I'm just like dying inside. I'm like straight up dying inside. I'm sitting next to my parents and they're oblivious. They literally do not know what I'm looking at, and I know that they don't know what I'm looking at. And it's this surreal trip of like, this is the world we live in, and I'm not judging, obviously, I'm not judging at all, but the fact that they chose this profession for this movie character it was just so surreal. It was like, what the fuck? What? Why? It was crazy, man. What's the movie called again? It's a lot, actually, I think. Nothing happens in the entire movie. Ah, yes, a classic Netflix production. Very much so, very much so. It's a lot, actually, I think the movie is called. That helicopter sounded cool. Like as it was flying over my head, I was just, looking into the technological advancement of human beings. I'm like this monkey on the ground. I'm dancing and jumping around sometimes. I'm trying to share love and words as much as we can. I'm trying to meditate, and this is the pursuit that I've chosen for myself. But there are, these human beings who have chosen the pursuit of engineering, building things, literally having designed, manufactured, and now actively flying this belated helicopter over top of my head. I'm like, yeah, the infinities. Goodness, it's crazy, dude. Same as you said, I just do and accept the results. Thanks for explaining who you are to me. You're someone afraid of failure and someone who admires different lifestyles from your own. What would happen if you accepted this as who you are? Hmm. Good questions. Thanks for being my therapist today. Very symbiotic. Like Sensane is actually doing life coaching, so he knows what to say. Like genuinely, friends, if you're curious, hit Sensane up. I've tried accepting that, but I can't. I know that life is way too precise to me to do precious. My way is my life is way too precious to me to become someone I'm truly proud of being. Do you want to tell me something about you as well? Like Insane, we would be more than willing to hear a bit about you. How's your process been? How's your experience been? How has your feelings of I need to grow this fast, I need to do this fast. How has those feelings been for you, man? I'm really curious as to how your perspective has changed on that as well. Thank you for the wholesome brother toast. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for this trip report, dear Mel. I always enjoy hearing about those interactions of the mind. Thank you for listening, Talia. I appreciate you asking, friend. I'm going to head off. Thanks for all of your kind words. Peace and love to all. Peace and love to you, Lane. I'll reach out to you, man. By the way, I wouldn't call this therapy. I'm just interested in your mindset. I think it doesn't have to be therapy, but it is an inquisition into the mind, in a way that we don't always inquire into the mind. And that in itself can be therapeutic. So I think take the win. Take the win's insane. I accept that I would realize that my life is something pitiful, as I'm aware I'm not being okay with my life, but not doing anything about it, even though it is in my power. I'm changing because I've made it clear to myself that I create my own reality in every single moment. I decide to act or not to act. Tell it what this is what keeps me going. Keep going, Talia. And know that it's never too late either. There's literally people at the age of 54 turning their lives around, learning how to read, starting to follow a pursuit, a profession, a life goal that they actually value. It's never too late, friend. Don't be too hard on yourself. Be patient. Take your time. You got this. You freaking got this. So what is your life? So what if your life is pitiful? You've already expressed yourself as someone with a passion to change your life. That is you too. Yeah, literally it's insane. Thank you for being so wise today, man, and for sharing your wisdom with us too, genuinely. Can you put the gypsy spell on my enemy, please? Yes. Your username and the faggotry. What an interesting username. So the spell that I would like to put upon your enemy is infinite abundance, it seems. Oh man, that's a lot of abundance, dude. Oh goodness. That's so much abundance that you're sending your enemy right now. The dude is like straight up drowning in the abundance. Oh goodness. Look, your curse worked a little bit. Okay, let's pick him out of the abundance a little bit. Give him a little boat of abundance to ride in his more abundance in. All of us are free, friend. No curses, dude. No curses, man. The tree makes it seem like you have horns. Even better now? You look like the horned god. Goodness. Goodness. Jenny, thank you, friend. I appreciate your love. I appreciate it genuinely. You know, like I like to say, I like to think about the fact that there is no point at which I start and that tree finishes or stops, you know. And you can be like, oh, but what about the external boundary? Yeah, but what about the external influences? You know, the oxygen that's coming off of that thing, the carbon dioxide that's coming out of my face. We're both interchangeably influencing each other right now. So where do I start? Where does it stop? Answer, we don't. So in this conceptualization of it, technically I do have horns. They just happen to be growing out of the ground. Yep, Melt. I completely agree to that environment thing. Like that the environment is a big aspect of being yourself. Absolutely. You know, and it's not something to be ashamed of. I also feel socially awkward in those cases. And I feel what you're saying completely, my friend. I'm just doing the same thing that my friend did for me upon me sharing information like this with him. And I was like, am I socially awkward? Am I being weird? And he's like, nah, dude, you're fine. Stop tripping out. Relax. Mm, that's what it is currently for me, and that's why I'm deciding to create beauty and love and do so with passion. It's the only thing we can do, Talia. Beauty and love. Ceaseless creation. We're ceaselessly creating. So, what do we want to create? Do we want to enjoy the creation? Do we want to be present for this creation? Yeah, I think so. Absolutely. If I had any advice for you, it would be to imagine a springboard. To jump high, you need to bounce off the board, but if you never put the base down, you can never jump high. The springboard is the acceptance of your situation first. Busy bee. Sensane, I feel you are very much a busy bee as well. How has that been treating you? Do you like being busy, Sensei? I'm curious, dude. Do tell. Let's turn the spotlight on you a little bit, brother bear. Love you, bro. Have a great day. Sending you energy. Let's send Lane some energy collectively. I'm seeing a big ass A. A champion. A amazing person. An amazing person. A wonderful artist. A strong individual. An old soul and a young body. We're sending you love, Lane. Somewhere in this world, Lane is laning it up right now. Just think about it for a second. Ah, oh, jeez. Yeah. Every single one of us doing our things all the time. So many infinities. Goodness, so freaking many infinities. I agree of sorts, but in my opinion, the first step isn't acceptance, but realization. Okay, I would actually agree with that. Hopefully, you reach these two steps, friend. Good luck. Thank you, Sensei, for wishing luck and for wishing love, friend. Thank you very much for creating this space, Mel. I feel a bit weird for talking so much about myself, but thank you, and especially Sensei, so much for this conversation. Talia, this stream is for this. This is literally why we do these streams. Never apologize for sharing. Never apologize for taking space. We're giving space. You can't take any of it because I'm giving it. You know, if I was like, yes, this freaking Talia just taking up all the space, I would have just been like skipping past it, you know, Talia again. And then, no, of course not. I love you and I want to share the space with you. I hope I could inspire some of you to reflect. You did. You're helping me reflect right now. And this is how we reflect. This is how we gain perspective. Being vulnerable is underrated. I value conversations like these. Thank you, Naren, for encouraging and for being here with us in it, my friend. Hey, Michelle is joining us. Morning again, everyone. Those I've met and everyone I've never seen. Friends you just haven't met yet. Thank you for joining us as well. Michelle, it's nice to have you here, my friend. How have you been? How has your significant other been? How are your kids? How is the whole I want to ask family situation, but that's it sounds a little bit vague. I think you know what I'm talking about. I've been thinking about you. Thank you for the silver, Naren. Honestly, thank you so much. Thank you, Talia. Thank you, friend, for doing this together. I love 55. I like 54 as well. You know, all the way down to 44. Numbers, dude. Like I've been trying to actively in my life bring these synchronicities into it. Instead of just finding synchronicities, like looking at my cell phone and being like, "Oh, it's 44 minutes past again." Now, if I'm meditating, I set a timer for 44 minutes, 44 seconds. If I have to put something in the oven for 12 minutes, I put it into the oven for 11 minutes and 11 seconds. I do that everywhere. If I use the microwave, I'll put in, a minute 44 instead of a minute and a half. If I want to take something out of the microwave before it has run its course, I'll make sure it's on a double number. And it's ridiculous. It's complete absurdity, but so is life. So is all of this. So I'll just be like yeah, let's call it more synchronicities. For me, I am enjoying what I'm doing. Biggest obstacle for me was having large streams, then dealing with tiny streams, kind of feeling like I don't have regulars, feeling lonely, thus losing sight of why I feel that's insane. And I was experiencing that for you, and temporarily I experienced it as well myself, where I was like, oh, we can have these insane 500,000 people streams, but in those streams, it's like being lost in a crowd sometimes. Where these streams, and that's why these streams are the ones that I almost value the most. Like today, we got to have an insight into Talia's experience, and we were talking very specifically about this busy bee feeling. And Talia is actively now trying to be herself more, and it can be a state of feeling busy as well, a state of doubt, a state of self acceptance. And because this stream was more intimate, I'll say, I won't even want to call it small, more intimate, we got to share a perspective that we wouldn't be able to share if we were 50,000 people in the stream today. And that's the way it is. That's the way it's supposed to be. I'm so happy that you can be aware of these things and say, it's not easy to keep that awareness. Awareness is something so finicky. You're like, oh, I'm aware. And then you suffer about things and you're like, why? Why? Why am I suffering? For what? I have suicidal thoughts and I'm so overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. So, Boken, we have one rule here, and I see you have 777 in your username as well, so even more synchronicities. We have one rule. We can complain, we can be mean, we can, shout into the universe why. We can vent, we can share horrible stories that we've been through, that we're going through, and we accept one another for that. The one rule we have is don't die. You know, you can reframe it and say you can't die. Don't die. Because this experiencer, this awareness is the one aware of your suicidal thoughts. As you said, I have suicidal thoughts, and I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so overwhelmed. I have suicidal thoughts. You're the one that has these things. You're the awareness that is aware of them. It's not you who are these suicidal thoughts. You as Vulcan 777 isn't the suicidal thought, isn't the overwhelmed feeling. You're aware of it. You're the one that's like, suicidal thoughts again today, huh? That's neat. Why? Why are you like this? You know? But you're aware of it. If you're overwhelmed and you don't know what to do, show up for yourself. Be it through self-care, taking a bath, eating good food, exercising a little bit, be it through showing up for other people, reaching out to the ones that might not even, in your opinion, love you, but might know of you. And just telling them that you love them, that you appreciate them, that you see them for the influence they've had in your life. And if you take these steps to show up in different ways, show up for yourself through self-care, show up for other people through love, it helps make the depression a little bit easier. Because when we are in an extreme state of depression and we feel so overwhelmed, it's so difficult for us to believe what other people tell us, you know. It's so difficult for us to believe that someone cares. It's impossible for us to think that this person knows what we're going through. Because that depressive state, that constant, you know, mind in us that's, you know, telling us that we're worthless, that nobody's gonna miss us if we're gone, you know, suicidal thoughts that come along with that. It's not us, and it's not beneficial. It's not healthy. It causes us to lash out to other people as well because we're so convinced that they don't care that when they pretend in our minds to care, we don't allow them to either. We care about you, friend. Keep showing up. If anything, you know, this might sound a little bit personal, you know, because I'm streaming every day, but keep showing up. If you show up every single day, then you're not dead yet. And that's gonna make me happy. How about that, dude? Huh? I get happy that you're still here with us and you're still here with us. Uh-huh. Can I trade you, Bokart? How about it? Love, love, love. Hug, hug, hug. Choo choo blue. Thank you. I appreciate you, my friend. So much love to you as well. Please keep streaming, even when you don't know why you're doing it. Please do, Sensei. Now, your streams are amazing, dude. Amazing. Genuinely, the people that tune in, even if they don't say a word, even if they are just the observers, you know, that's what they are. That's fundamentally what we are. We are observers. We observe things. Look, you want to observe what's next to me? Look at that. Isn't that something to observe? And we can sit here and watch these little dudes hours for hours, you know, just observe. We don't have to say a single word. That makes when someone says a word, you know, all the much more appreciated. But technically, we don't need to, Sensei. First and foremost, we just watch. Watch. We just see. Huh. Interesting. I see what's happening there. And we like seeing things, you know. We like asking ourselves, oh, what's this? What's happening there? Curiosity being pulled. Needed to observe this. Thank you for observing with me so much. I appreciate you, Jovan. Two little sleeping pups next to me. Like, what more can I ask for? Mm. Every time I stop trying to force something to happen, it always I'm always surrounded by friends or just have a great time though. So I still try. I just also can't will the results. That's the balance that makes me the happiest. Hmm. That's a beautiful point. Force something to happen. Yeah, you see, unfortunately, this universe has this weird thing about forcing, you know, and I feel like that part of the universe is very much expressed in me as well. Where if you try and force me to do things, mm, you know, I like doing things. I really like doing things. Like if you ask me kindly to do something for you, I probably take a bullet for you. Genuinely, if you're like, oh, bro, you know, I'm gonna get shot now. Don't you want to be shot instead? Please. I'd be like, fuck. What did you have to say, please? Fine. Fine. Live your life. You know, love the people in your life. Universe, take me. Sending love to you, friend. I feel you in that. You're not alone. You're not alone, dude. That's the most important thing. Time you feel comfortable doing what you're doing, it's time well spent. I agree. I agree so much, Dalia. We love you too, my friend. There is no easy way out of that headspace. It's a long and uncomfortable journey. It is possible, though. We endure the dark and we can see the light. We see your light, friend. We see, like, genuinely, quite literally, you know, your comment on a physical level is being represented as light, and that light's literally straight up hitting my eyeballs right now, and I'm experiencing your light remotely, literally. And even though that light is like a, you could call it a cry for help, it's light. You have light. You're sharing your light, friend. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, friend. This is what it's about. Mm, mm. It's insane. Our friends are important too. Friends are the interactive environment that allows you to grow with much more passion. What a beautiful thing to say that is, Talia. Wow. Very well said, Mr. Toast. You too, Talia. You too. Thanks for asking. I wrote down the instructions from Nova. Follow the instructions. Share the instructions with the family, and the family is following the instructions. Okay. I'm happy to hear that, Shell. The entire family, like the extended family as well. Love you, sending you love, bro. Thank you. I love being busy. I find I schedule my time. I'm a lot more productive and I utilize my time so well while still being able to do all the time wasters I did before. I just feel great to get so much done. I know that about you, Sensei. I can see it. And I'm very aware of it. And I admire it more than I can tell you. If it makes you happy, that's what it's about, you know. I'm so happy that we get to have these differing experiences, both sides of the coin, more sides of the infinity. Instructions about stopping throwing shade and to throw love and kindness at the poo poo sounds I hear. It works! Now everyone is trying it at home. That makes me so happy. Concur with Melty, follow the rule, and now keep showing up, please. Yes. No, you have cemented yourself in here. I'm like, okay, yes. Pours a bag of cement, mixes it. No, you just stand there, don't move. Starts digging a hole. Stand in the hole, please. What are you doing? No, 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 no. Don't worry about it. Just for who's interested, 44 minutes past, 44% battery power. Mm, mm, synchronicity. Anyway, starts adding cement onto your feet. You stay now. Keep you here. Come by every single day, water you a little bit, want to see you grow into a beautiful flower. But why did you concrete me? Dude, you have to stay. No leaving. Melting Brands, thank you for joining us. That a niner. Dandy, how are you doing, my brother Bear? I hope everyone's day is going as in a good direction so far. Mine very much is. How is yours doing? We're going to actually have a Reddit talk session. Oh goodness, in like 13 minutes. I need to finish the stream up and actually go and do that. We have a Reddit talks coming up very soon, at 6 my time, I think. It sounds so cheap, but seriously, hanging in there. Don't give up. Right now, you might not see it, but one day you'll be able to recognize all of life's beauty again. And you'll look back and be so grateful and proud you kept going. That's what we did. That's what I did. Voku, Vokun, we're here with you, friend. Keep going. I know why I do it. I briefly just went at it sideways. Like I didn't want what I actually wanted. Lying to myself, like that just makes the experience never fully satisfying because I can't fully enjoy the success and I won't give up. That's limbo land. Yeah, yeah. It's insane. And I've heard you talk about it in that context as well, dude. So I'm happy that you're aware, man. It's better now that you're here. Things you keep spend your time on, things you keep busy with. That's the deal. I'm writing a book. Just finished the rough draft. This month we'll finish the final and get editors. Building a coaching practice. Gonna create a program this month. Also learning Dutch. The month for listening comprehension. Also roller skating and slinky. You've been like hoying. You've literally been hoying and video editing and book reading club with some coaching friends. It's amazing. It's insane. Keep going, man. Thank you for your compliment. Zap. I appreciate you, dude. It's insane. Truly busy. Yeah, he's like literally doesn't give himself rest. I have no doubt you're a good writer. You're very rational. I appreciate that you share the aspect of yours with others. You're changing lives. You are. It's insane. I keep going, dude. Don't give up, man. What kind of video editing are you doing? Then, of course, getting busy and Slay the Spire. Got my friends and family, my relationship, I'm terrible writer, in fact. Writing and speaking have always been my worst skills. You're hitting yourself where you shouldn't. It's insane. You're fine, dude. You're doing so fine. Do you mean sentence structure? No idea what that is, but I'm talking about content. What are you writing a book about? Let's actually wait for that. I have like 14 minutes left to get to my computer. Set up for the Mental Health Mondays Reddit talk. I think it's going to be amazing. Turning art pen streams into content was a goal, though, because I succeeded with one. I kind of want to slap on a badge and focus on things. I still make vid clips for my profile. For your Instagram as well, right? To you friends who don't know, Sensane does have an Instagram. I am going to say goodbye for today. We're going to have a little bit of a Reddit talks. To you friends here, if I have given you some energy, please do consider supporting me. I would really appreciate it. I want to share this story with you, and maybe I'll share it at the end of the streams. Yesterday, for the first time, someone joined the Patreon for a total of $4. Like technically $444. And my grandmom is very concerned about what we're doing, and her understanding of what success is very much a financial based understanding. And she's been bugging me, asking me, oh, are you making a salary? Are you actually earning something? Nah, 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 nah. And I've just been throughout the last year been telling her it's not about making money, it's about sharing space. And like I see her trying to process that, and like it's not clicking for her. So now I was like joking yesterday with my mom after our friend Jem, Woman in a Van, is also a streamer here on Arpan, like signed up as a Patreon. I told my mom, now I can tell my grandma that I earn $4 a month. I'm earning a freaking salary. So yeah, it's been amazing. And then she actually sent me a message. Hey, Fire Breathing Jenny. Oh, it's Fire Breathing Jenny. Yeah, the YouTube is much better. Thank you for joining us here. Friends, I appreciate your time, the space that we've shared. Thank you for all of the love. We'll see you again tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye, my friends.